Hey, what's going on guys? GriZZle here, back with another Watch Dogs Legion video, and today I'm going to be giving you my impressions on Watch Dogs Legion. I'm not going to be biased, I'm going to tell the game how it is. This is from someone who's played the first game and the second game. Literally my first video on this channel is Watch Dogs 2. So I decided to make one because, all the YouTubers, you can't really take their, word for it because they've been given the game. So today I'm going to be talking about Watch Dogs Legion, of course, First off, I just want to point out, I think it's going to be a good game. I mean, we've only seen gameplay, and it's still work in progress, and we've only seen like 2 story missions and limited activities and, limited operators, and it still looks like a fantastic game. I'm still really excited for it. The graphics look amazing. You might not see it in the gameplay because it is low quality, but all in all, I think the game looks great. I think it can only go up. I'm not worried about it being downgraded because Ubisoft hasn't downgraded a game in a long time. I think the last time they downgraded a game might have been Rainbow Six Siege, and it was only a graphical downgrade. Everything else for me was an upgrade. I think obviously the graphics were downgraded, but they got, they were fixed. And then we also have like the HUD and how that worked, so it's kind of both ways, but there's no graphical downgrade. I didn't expect it. Watch Dogs 2 had really good graphics, so I'm not surprised. And the gameplay we're seeing is, 1, streamed gameplay, so it's not even at the best anyway, and 2, it's on last gen. It's not even on PC, I don't think. I think it's all through PS4 or Xbox. I'm not sure. Maybe both. But we haven't even seen it on next gen, so I'm pretty excited for that. I think the activities seem really cool. When you're recruiting people, it's literally like its own mission. Recruiting seems very fun from the things that I've seen. I've heard some people say they're worried about, the replayability. Is it just gonna be like the same thing? And quite frankly, I don't know. But it still doesn't look like all the missions are procedurally generated because there's in the game there's an infinite amount of people in the city. So obviously they aren't gonna make it's impossible. So obviously they're using procedural generation for the missions. I don't think it will be too bad though. I think it looks pretty good. It's a work in progress, so it's inevitable that they're gonna add more missions and side content. I know for side content you can go to the pub, you can play darts, you can play keep ups with a soccer ball. So it looks pretty cool. I know, similar to Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey, they added kind of the auto travel feature with if you guys didn't play that game. Basically in Odyssey, if you held, I think maybe X for PlayStation 4 and A on Xbox One, it would like auto go to a destination or auto follow the road. And auto drive is in this game, which is pretty cool. I mean, I don't know how often I'll use it, but it's still pretty cool because the game takes place in the future, so it's to be expected. The open world seems huge. It's filled with activities. It's very dense from what I've heard. There's a lot of buildings to explore, and I'll get into that in a second. But the map, I'm really excited for the activities that they're gonna add. Right now I just want to go over the content that they plan to add. So Watch Dogs Legion is getting released on October 29th, and I'm going to read the editions of the games and possibly which one is the best. I already know what I'm going to get. But basically the standard edition is just a standard edition of the game. It has some pre-order bonuses which I'll go over later. The gold edition also comes with, I think if you get physical, you get like a steelbook. I'm not too sure. You get, I think, around 4 unique heroes in missions. You get, I think, like 3 bonus missions in the vehicle, and you get the season pass. I don't know if it's for Gold Edition or Ultimate Edition. You get Watch Dogs 1. You get Watch Dogs 1 Complete Edition. It might be both, but I'm not 100% sure. This actually doesn't say it. So the Ultimate Edition comes with the Ultimate Pack, which just comes with 3 more characters and masks. And it says a 4-week VIP status, but I don't know if that has changed, because what I've noticed too is that Ubisoft also removed the 3-day early access to Watch Dogs Legion. So they might remove the 4-week VIP status. Also, before, with the Gold Edition and Ultimate Edition, with the exclusive missions that I mentioned in a car, it used to only be 1 mission, but now it's 3 plus the 4 unique heroes and the missions that come with it. Not explained what exactly comes in those missions, and we still don't know the 4 unique heroes, but I'm pretty hyped. It looks like Aiden Pierce in one of them, Wrench maybe, I'm not 100% sure, but I'll go over operators in a second. It comes with the season pass, and it comes with something called the Urban Jungle Pack, and like I said, it also comes with Watch Dogs 1 Complete Edition. So if you don't own the game, definitely get that. I actually think the first game is quite good, but it's up to anyone to decide. The Collector's Edition, we'll talk about that. It comes with a really big box that comes with Watch Dogs Legion. It comes with a lightning coronet mask that is actually an LED, so it looks really cool. I suggest you guys check it out. It comes with an exclusive steelbook, different from the other steelbook that you get in the Ultimate Edition. It comes with a collector's box, double-sided propaganda posters, so whichever side you like you can hang up, and 3 exclusive stickers. It also comes with a season pass, Urban Jungle Pack, and I think it comes with more DLC packs. It also comes with an expansion. I think the season pass in general has an expansion or expansions. I'm not sure. It also comes with a few in-game masks. But like I said, this is all subject to change. They literally just announced, I think, like a few days ago, all the changes they made. And for the pre-order bonuses, there's a car skin, an Uneasy Lies mask skin, and a Serpent Sister gun skin. So that's pretty cool for the versions of the game that you can get, so you guys can decide. I'm gonna try and get my hands on a collector's edition, unbox that for you guys, go over it. Like I said, I don't think they're doing the 3-day early access anymore, but I don't know completely, but I think that's what I heard. Now let's get into the operators. I don't know how they're gonna do DLC in this game. I know in Watch Dogs 2 the DLC was more cosmetic. There were some really cool DLC packs, but I think in this game they're gonna include more operators, which I'll touch on what I am confused about in a second. But I think for DLC packs they might include different types of operators, like I said, like maybe Marcus from Watch Dogs 2, characters from older games like Jory, because he's a hitman in Watch Dogs 1. He appeared in Watch Dogs 2 with the DLC. So I wouldn't be surprised if he appears in this game. Plus it would fit perfectly because like there's hitman's like traits. He can recruit anyone, so he would have like that hitman trait, so that would be pretty cool. I wouldn't be surprised if they introduced a lot of old characters too. And hey, maybe they might introduce characters from other games. I've heard someone say that, it would be pretty cool if they introduced like Nomad from Ghost Recon, Wildlands, and or Breakpoint into the game, which I don't know how that would work. I would expect maybe in a modern day assassin character or an old assassin character from Assassin's Creed, because as we know, the Assassin's Creed worlds and the Watch Dogs worlds are connected, as we've seen in Watch Dogs 1. Now I'm going to talk about what I'm confused about. So as I read, there are going to be like a bunch of DLC operators that we've just seen in the additions. Now, if we do have permadeath on, which by the way, permadeath, which was introduced in E3 2019 last year, it's an option now. So you don't have to play on permadeath mode, but you can if you want to, which I'll probably play on permadeath mode because it's going to be more tense in situations. But basically, if we have a DLC operator, like one that we pay for, not just some random one off the street, or maybe in the Ubisoft Club Rewards, there's an operator we can get. What if we're playing on permadeath and that DLC character that, we paid for, got exclusively, dies? Would it be different than just a regular civilian? Like, would be able to get them back but with different traits? I'm still confused to how that would work, but it's still up for change. They haven't even talked about it yet, actually. I'm surprised because it seems like something that would be on people's minds. So I don't know about that, but basically, speaking of operators, as you've seen, the big selling point for this game is that you can play as anyone and make your own DedSec, whether it's filled with spies, hitmen, old people, whatever. It can be whatever you want it to be, which I find pretty cool. You can recruit people like paramedics, lawyers, police officers, Albion agents, street artists. You can even recruit a random civilian who has little to nothing, which, I don't know why, but do what you want to do. From what I've seen, with some characters like the paramedic, the police officer, and the Albion agents, they can go into like restricted areas. I don't know if it's to a degree. Like, from what I've seen, I think as an Albion agent, unlike if you guys have played the game Prototype, if you change into like a form, you can go in anywhere, and you can get close to anyone. You just can't like take out your gun and obviously start killing all of them, because that would ruin it. But I think unlike Prototype and Watch Dogs Legion, you actually if you maybe get too close to someone as an Albion agent, they start detecting you, which I don't know. I know in the mission they said that, someone discovered that you were working with DedSec, so you gotta keep your distance. I don't know if that's just for the story. I really don't. That might be for every character. I hope it's not, because that would be kind of dumb. Just recruiting Albion agents and not being able to go into bases freely. So I'm hoping that's only for the mission, because that was a main mission. But who knows? I know they have perks if you do not have permadeath mode on. For instance, if there is an operator that you have that maybe got arrested, or if you had a police officer or a lawyer on your team, their time would get reduced from maybe 45 minutes to an hour to 30 minutes, or maybe even below that. So it would help out a lot. And I know if you have, goes for if you have like a doctor or a paramedic on your team, they'll be able to get an operator that died out of the hospital a lot faster than normal. So I think that's definitely pretty cool. A big step up from E3 2019, where there was only like skill boosts. So basically it was pointless last year when it was introduced in E3 to even recruit anyone. So I'm glad they changed that this year. One thing I want to talk about, I've seen a lot of people talk about this, is since this game takes place in London, anyone who lives there, or anyone who knows this, would know that guns are illegal there. So that's why you don't see a lot of gunplay in this game from your side of the character, unless you have a hitman or an ex-military. Like I said, a character can have like a lethal weapon, but most weapons you have would be non-lethal. So a paintball gun from a street artist, that would be non-lethal. It's I heard that that's actually pretty good. I've seen gameplay of it. It looks like a pretty good weapon. There's more tasers and stuff like that. So, but it makes sense because obviously, like, I actually like that too because, you know, not a random civilian would just be like, okay, I'm a part of DedSec now. Now that I have a gun, let me just shoot everyone I see. You know, obviously that wouldn't make sense. I mean, obviously you can recruit anyone, so it's pretty cool. From what I've seen, it's actually really cool. So let's say if you walk up to someone who you want to recruit, you can save them to your recruits. If they don't like DedSec, then you will have to do, I think, even more missions for them. I'm not sure, but if they already like them, you would have an easier time. So let's say you save this police officer to your recruits. Later in that game, you'll see a schedule. You know, you can find the police station that character works at, and then you can find them there. Or you might see that character's relative or loved one or a spouse being maybe harassed by the Albion agents, and if you actually save that person, they'll actually, I think that would count as them either liking DedSec more or even be willing to join DedSec. But from what I've seen, I don't know too much about it, but that's pretty cool. So stuff like that, you know, people that you save to your recruits, you know, I think every character has their own schedule, which doesn't sound as groundbreaking as you think. They said this in Assassin's Creed Origins, that like, every NPC has their own schedule, which yeah, I guess they do, but still they're NPCs. They're getting spawned in left and right, and you know, it's not as groundbreaking because in Origins it was just like, at nighttime they went home to sleep, in the morning they went out and started walking and stuff like that. But it is cool. It's something that is very neat that they added. And one thing I want to talk about is the character customization. I think the character customization should be very good because it was really good in Watch Dogs 2. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was even better in Legion. The clothing you've seen, I think, in the work in progress games aren't really all there. I think that's just some of the clothing. I think there's going to be way more when the game gets released. All in all, I'm pretty excited for the game. Everything looks really, really cool. The perks for each characters, like I've talked about. One thing I do want to talk about, going back to the operators, is that not all characters, they completely removed the car on demand app from Watch Dogs 1 and 2. The character you recruit might or might not have a car, so that's something to also think about. So maybe there's a character that maybe doesn't have very good skills, doesn't have very good attributes, but has a really good car and maybe has a gun. It's stuff to think about. I think each operator has their pros and cons, which is pretty cool. One thing I do like in this game about playing as anyone is that if you wanted to, if you really tried, you could probably have one character and kind of have them as your main character. So let's say you find someone, you're like, oh, I really like this character, I think I'm gonna use this character all the time, which it'd be tough, but you could make it your own main character, which if Aiden Pierce is in the game, that'd be pretty cool. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time I have today. That's what I think about Watch Dogs Legion. I think it's going to be a huge step up from the first game and the second game. Overall, I think it's really good. I think there's way more that they're going to add, and I'll talk about it in the next video. But for right now, there's nothing else to talk about. I've talked about everything. Seems like a pretty good game. I'm excited for it, so let me know what you guys think. So yeah, guys, it's been GriZZle, and peace.